Alice had always been drawn to the old village shop, its dusty windows hiding treasures from a forgotten time. On a quiet afternoon, she wandered inside, the bell above the door giving a soft chime. The shop was cluttered with trinkets, but something caught her eye. An ornate mirror, its frame carved with delicate swirling patterns. The glass, though cloudy, seemed to hum with an unseen energy. She stepped closer, her reflection barely visible, a faint blur in the dusty surface. As her fingers brushed the frame, the air grew heavy, as if the mirror had been waiting for her touch. Suddenly, a face flickered within the glass. No, not hers. It was a man, his eyes wide with fear, his mouth moving in silent screams. Alice jumped back, heart racing, but the reflection quickly vanished, replaced by her own blurry form. She blinked, trying to shake off the unease that settled in her chest, but something about the mirror tugged at her. She found herself returning to it again and again, each time seeing a new face, each one more desperate and terrified than the last. There was a woman now, weeping, her hands pressed against the glass as though begging for help. The more Alice stared, the more she could hear whispers, soft and distant, but growing clearer. "Don't look. Leave it alone." The voices warned, but Alice couldn't turn away. The faces, each one filled with regret and sorrow, seemed to call to her, their eyes begging for release. She leaned in closer, drawn to the reflections, as if they were pulling her in. The whispers grew louder, the glass now vibrating under her touch. Her own face, pale and wide-eyed, began to flicker in the glass, mixing with the faces of those who had gazed into it before her. The weight of their fears, their regrets, seemed to press against her mind, suffocating her thoughts. And then, just as she realized what was happening, a cold, bone-chilling realization settled in. She was no longer standing in the shop. The mirror had drawn her in, trapping her within its glassy depths. Her reflection, now twisted with the faces of those before her, stared back with silent, accusing eyes. And as the door of the shop swung open behind her, she understood. The next person who stepped inside would find her, forever caught in the mirror, waiting to show their darkest fears